Amazon shut down our account overnight, erasing the business we built over 20 years. This would be the beginning of a 2-year nightmare that still isn't over yet. And if that's not crazy enough, at this point, we thought this has to be a mistake, and Amazon will fix this. And that's when things started to get really weird.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jack.
And we invented the Bed Scrunchie.
The moment I first realized something was really wrong is when Amazon accused us of infringing our own utility patent. When we received the patent complaint against ourselves, which apparently they said that we filed, we did what any normal person would do. We went and checked our outbox for partners at bedscrunchie.com, did not see any outbound complaints. We logged into brand registry and did not see anything there as well. So the next logical step was to call Seller Central. Listen to the confusion from Amazon when we called them for further explanation.
So I'm still reviewing here what it seems here because Amazon has validated the information that was provided. They are considering this to be a valid complaint, even though I understand that you are the rights owner and you never submitted the complaint. So I completely understand your frustration. I will leave your feedback here in regards to the process. Unfortunately, though, I'm not able to take any further action until the appeal's been made. So I do apologize for that.
Even when they admitted that, there's a mistake, the lady had no authority to do anything. And that just shows you how the machines are running the system. There's no human intervention, and this is a very, very dangerous thing.
I just don't understand how Amazon could even accept a complaint like this from the beginning. How is their system not intelligent enough to know that this is strange, this is a red flag? Why would Amazon accept a complaint from the brand owner against itself? That should be blocked. That should not even be possible.
There has to be human oversight. There has to be a human in the loop. And in this situation, there was not one. And our entire business was abolished because of this.
This would be the beginning of a 2-year nightmare that still isn't over yet.
We're currently locked out of Amazon and can't sell a single unit ourselves, while other sellers are allowed to sell the exact product that we invented.
And if that's not any indicator of how broken the system is, just listen until the end and you'll see how really broken it is.
Okay, so remember before how I told you there was a sequence of events that just didn't make sense? So here's the next crazy thing that happened. About 2 weeks later, after we finally resolved the IP issue, we got an automated AI enforcement for review manipulation. What?
We thought it was a mistake. Maybe we can fix this. We'll contact Amazon and we'll try to deal with it.
They are just saying, we have this evidence and that is the reason we have taken this decision. If you believe that is incorrect, then you need to submit any kind of evidence which proves that they are wrong.
We don't even know where to start.
Number one, we don't have any evidence. We don't know what we're appealing. It's kind of difficult to write an appeal, but we did it anyway.
When I question the first event and I look at the second event, am I being attacked by a third party? I don't know. It starts to get really crazy now.
You'll see later on why this appeal system seems to be just theater and it's not even a real appeal system. And I'll prove it to you if you stay with me until the end.
Bed Scrunchie.
Yeah. I love the Bed Scrunchie. It's a genius idea.
It's good. Oh, I love that.
One day we were living the American dream, and the next day we were living an American nightmare.
We built a real business, over 500,000 units sold. One day everything's fine, the next day we're gone.
At the time our account was deactivated in late October of 2024, I would say Amazon was at least contributing 90% of our business.
As much as we wanted to evenly distribute our sales channels, all the sales just kept funneling to Amazon. Amazon just makes it so easy for you to shop on there because customers already have 10 products on there. So for them to add another 11th product, Bed Scrunchie, and check out, they make it very simple. That means about 90% of our inventory was in the Amazon warehouses.
To make matters worse, there was almost nearly 4,000 units that were completely disposed of. They threw away our inventory. Can you imagine that? If you bought a Bed Scrunchie on Amazon, there's a good chance you didn't buy it from us, especially within the last 2 years. Even though we're the ones who invented it. Right now, we're not allowed to sell our own patented product on Amazon, but other sellers still are. I don't understand how. It's a huge loss for us, and I don't think it's something that any seller should have to deal with. I don't think that's fair.
There's no safety net when the system gets it wrong.
The financial impact of all of this is really huge. We've lost well over $6 million between the company being devalued and direct inventory losses are well over $2 million. We're struggling right now. Mike and I, we're in a situation here where we both have families and we're not making an income right now and actually consistently losing money every month. Still hoping and optimistic that this video or this message will reach the right people at Amazon to get this situation resolved, because we truly don't deserve to be in a situation like this.
So at this point in the appeal process, it really started to feel like we were not dealing with humans here. We're dealing with a robot, because we're working on these appeals. These are very thorough, extensive appeals. We're changing company policy, company procedures, and it's automatically being rejected within like 15 minutes. There's no way that a human could overlook that.
During none of these appeals did they ever return back to us with, okay, well, we need you to do this, or we need you to do that.
Every response was pretty much the same.
Each response that we got is a side-by-side rejection emails. They're all exactly the same template. They kept encouraging us to appeal, but not giving us any kind of direction or any kind of feedback.
You have to submit a fresh appeal regarding this, sir, for this particular violation.
From your end, you need to submit some more information clearly, okay, stating that you have not violated the policy. That is the only option.
Please proceed to submit another appeal.
We were just stuck in an endless loop.
It's a catch-22. There was no way we could stop what was happening.
So the biggest flaw in this whole process is that it just feels like there's no process at all. It feels like a free-for-all.
2 weeks later, after our account has been deactivated, we get contacted by a third party who claims to be able to help us get onto Temu. This conversation switched very suddenly from Temu to, hey, in order for you to be an active seller on Temu, you need to have a good Amazon account. And I'm thinking she's gonna maybe help us write a plan of action. She's gonna overlook the plan of action or the appeal that we wrote, or maybe send this over to a lawyer that maybe can help us or something like that. But no.
I mean, like, this is like screenshot of what their all the communications and decisions. Yeah, can you see that?
Kind of vaguely, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it?
So this is just all their communication and how they. This is their backend. This is the seller. This is their Amazon backend. We found some guy that works in Amazon that looked into your case.
She just dropped our internal records from Amazon into our lap.
He help people getting that money out and getting that like Amazon back into business. So right. So I gotta ask him again. His standard charge is 20%, but he usually able to do it like 8 or 9% for us.
She's telling us not only does she have access to these reports, she's telling us she could help us recover the money that's stuck in Amazon, and there's a fee. Things are starting to smell really fishy.
She's basically sitting there explaining this to us on the video call, explaining to us, what these internal records say and all these different things that she was trying to facilitate, which we never asked her for. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
So what happens next is mind-blowing.
The last phone call with this person, she says,
are you interested in selling your current business? He's wondering like, what will be the deal if you help you get your account back? Are you willing to sell it to him and how much it is? So yeah, this friend is kind of a business partner of mine too. I happened to talk to him and he's interested in your brand.
We never even spoke about this. I never asked you for internal account records. I never even offered to pay any money to get any kind of reinstatement. We just legitimately want to resolve the problem.
She finally sends us these reports. She sent it through WeChat, which is like a Chinese messaging service. And she sent it as like 40 pictures.
One thing for sure is that those are my internal documents. They're not fabricated, and they all have the same exact call times that I've called, the account notes, everything lines up. So I know it's 100% a genuine internal data. My question is, how did she get them? This guy's in China, huh?
Yeah, this guy is in China.
All right, so now the situation gets really weird, right? Because when she tells me that she has access to these documents, it really makes me question the entire system.
Why somebody in China is even able to access my US account seller data, I don't understand why that's not protected. This system had blocked any of these seller representatives from disclosing the evidence. As you can see here, it's clearly highlighted. Do not disclose the evidence to the seller.
Why were we put through this torture of submitting these appeals and to provide this evidence that doesn't exist when the report internal notes and every single seller support agent was able to see these when we were talking to them? It says that there's a hard block and that there's nothing that could be done to reopen this account. Why were they telling us to keep submitting appeals? Was it just for theater? It's a bunch of BS. That's what this was.
There's a spot there where they ask about vulnerabilities. And numerous times we told them we're in a very tense, dire situation. It's literally a month before Christmas. They have our vulnerabilities marked as no. In addition, my son Julian was born a week after this deactivation, and I'm telling them, guys, I have a new child on the way. Like, this is very stressful, emotionally, mentally. This is more than I can handle, and I just would love to have a clear answer as far as what I need to do to resolve this situation.
When you put everything on a timeline, you look at the IP infringement from ourselves against ourselves to the review manipulation, and now these documents, there's a major vulnerability in this whole system. And if the system is vulnerable, competitors can easily come in and attack, right, to get us off the platform.
So something really interesting happens. A year later, after all of this, I decided to make a post on LinkedIn. I reached out to Dharmesh Mehta, a leader at Amazon. I informed him, we have evidence of unusual activity, and they had somebody contact us back. So tell me again, what's your name?
Brandon O'Leary.
Okay, how you doing? How are you? I'm Jack McCalla. So, okay. So where do I begin? You have, I guess you have questions?
Well, I want to learn more about kind of what you mentioned, that you have concrete evidence that there's a major enforcement gap benefiting China sellers around U.S. patent holders.
Yeah, I'm glad you got in touch with me.
Jack told him basically the entire story from the beginning. He told him about the patent infringement. He told him about the automated AI enforcement situation. And then he told him about the internal documents that were given to us.
Yeah, I think one thing I can do is, so I'm going to send you an email from one of our major inboxes that we use to gather this type of information. So it's going to be coming from one that is called Confidential Store Stewards at Amazon.com. So it's going to be coming from the Amazon.com alias. So that will be coming from me. That is a way that you can share anything you can around the service. So the WeChat, anything that you can use there.
Well, we never heard from Mr. Brandon again. He made a whole bunch of promises, and not one of them were followed up on. Is this intentional, or is this part of a systemic cover-up? I don't know. We don't have the answers to these. We were ready to provide them with all the evidence. So clearly they didn't want the evidence. They didn't want to know how my internal data was leaked out of China, how it ended up in my hands. That to me is a bit suspicious and strange and questionable.
And he just disappeared. He disengaged. There's nowhere to be found. This was kind of just like a slap in the face. A year later, after all this happened, somebody calls us, gives us hope, and then disappears again. Why? Why did they disappear?
I definitely see how that would be frustrating.
You said I sent an email to Dharmesh Mehta, and how did you get it? How did you get this?
It gets passed down from leadership into the executive escalations work stream, and then it got sent over to me to see if I could contact you to get more details.
Why did they take the route of calling me and not emailing me before they call me? And why did he call me out of nowhere? This wasn't an accident, it was strategic. It was a strategic move so that they don't have a paper trail. But fortunately enough, I do have the screenshot of the phone call, and I do have the full entire call recording so that nobody can say that that call never took place, because it certainly did. And they were told about these strange sequence of events and these anomalies.
This was bigger than just Mike and Jack and Bed Scrunchie. This is something that can happen to anyone. This is a bigger systemic issue. So this is why we're making this video, to just warn the public and let you guys know what can happen to you if you're in a similar situation.
We're hoping to make this video so that we can reach the broader audience and people who shop on Amazon, people who sell on Amazon, and let them know about the platform risks, because this video should be a warning to anybody who's on that platform. Again, whether you're buying or whether you're selling, it's really important to understand the dynamics of a platform that does not care about American sellers.